If you want your kids to actually understand who Jesus is, not just hear stories about him, this is a really helpful little book. This is The Boy from the House of Bread, and it's one of those books that actually really helps kids understand who Jesus is. The big idea of this book is really simple. Jesus is the bread of life who came to bring life to the world. And it takes that idea and it makes it really clear for kids. And that's what makes this book work so well. What this book does really well is take one big truth and build the whole story around it. It's not trying to do everything, it's focused, and because of that, it really sticks. And that's the difference with this one. A lot of kids' books, they just tell you what happened, but this one helps you understand what it means. Not just that Jesus did miracles, but who he is. And that's a much better foundation for kids. The bread of life came out of the house of bread. And most people miss that when reading the Bible with their kids. But this book actually helps you show them that. The name Bethlehem literally means house of bread. And Jesus said, I am the bread of life. And that is a big idea. But this book actually explains it in a way that kids can grasp. And once they see that, it really starts to make sense for them. The story is told through the eyes of a young boy, and that makes it feel really personal. Instead of just hearing about Jesus, they're experiencing it alongside him. And that just helps it land so well. And that's really helpful because kids aren't just learning information. They're starting to see who Jesus is, why he came, and what he offers. And once that starts to click, it can open up all kinds of really good conversations. And that's really what you want from a book like this. The illustrations are warm and engaging, and the whole book has a kind of a rhythm to it that keeps kids listening. It's definitely designed to be read out loud, and that really helps keep their attention. In terms of age, it's probably around 4 to 8 years old. It's simple enough for younger kids, but there's enough depth there to keep the older kids engaged too. So it's a really good range to grow into. One thing to be aware of, it's so focused on one theme, which means it doesn't give you the whole picture. So this works well alongside other books. And there are a couple of moments that might need a little bit of explanation as you're reading along, and that obviously depends on the child. But overall, the main message is really clear. But that's just something to be aware of as you make your way through the book. Now, I'll put a link below if you want to check it out. So if you want a simple, clear, Christ-centered way to help your kids understand who Jesus is and why he came, this is a really helpful book to have. I'll be reviewing more kids' books like this. So if that's helpful, stick around and I'll be sharing more like this. God bless and keep reading with them.